Most professing Christians are on the wide road that leads to the lake of fire. And the problem is they think they're heading to the kingdom of God. They will be terribly disappointed in that day when they will realize they believed the lies of Satan and followed him. Unfortunately, most professing Christians today think they can serve Mammon. They think they can serve themselves. They think they can love the things of this world. They think they can enjoy the lusts of their flesh because they believe the lies of wolves in sheep's clothing who tell them they just have to believe in Jesus to have their names written in the Lamb's Book of Life. They deceive themselves because they don't want to believe the truth. They don't want to believe Jesus. Most Christians read the words of Jesus as if they are not so important. They just think about the sacrifice that Jesus did for us. They don't realize. They don't know Jesus. Let me tell you the bare truth. If you have 2 or more masters, and Jesus Christ is not your only master, and I'm going to explain what this means because Christians today don't understand, and they don't even care to understand. They are the ones who say we must do as the Bible says, but they themselves don't do so. Serving Jesus as your only master means you are voluntarily his bond servant. I'm going to explain further because Christians still don't understand. This means you are voluntarily and entirely at his disposal, meaning you are his slave. The truth is, if you don't humble yourself, and if you don't make yourself Jesus' unprofitable servant, as he commanded, then your name is not in the Lamb's Book of Life. If you don't want to become Jesus' slave, following him, serving him, obeying his teachings and commandments, and you only want his rewards, then you're a slave anyway. You're in bondage and a slave to sin. And whoever commits sin commits lawlessness, because lawlessness is sin. And the truth is that Jesus will say to many who believed in him, who thought were saved. By the way, I'm not sharing this because I hate anybody, but because if it is possible to wake up some of those many who believe the lies and will one day stand before Jesus and hear, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. I read to you the bare truth in Revelation chapter 3 verses 1 to 6. And to the angel of the church in Sardis write, these things say he who has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your works, that you have a name, that you are alive, but you are dead. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain, that you are ready to die. For I have not found your works perfect before God. Remember therefore how you have received and heard. Hold fast and repent. Therefore, if you will not watch, I will come upon you as a thief, and you will not know what hour I will come upon you. You have a few names, even in Sardis, who have not defiled their garments, and they shall walk with me in white, for they are worthy. He who overcomes shall be clothed in white garments, and I will not blot out his name from the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to churches. We don't clothe ourselves with white garments. We receive them, but only if we overcome. Have you defiled your white garments, even just a little bit, and believed the lies of wolves in sheep's clothing who tell you you are saved anyway? To follow Jesus, we have to listen to the voice of the Good Shepherd only. Repent, dear friend, and strengthen the things that remain, so that you are ready to die and meet Jesus. Repentance is not going to church. Repentance is not reading your Bible time to time. Repentance is not fellowshipping with Christians, especially hypocritical Christians. Repentance is turning from your sins. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.